All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's on the Power. So the first story I have for you guys today is the 2018 NABBA Mr. Universe. Now, this is the same Mr. Universe that was won back in the day by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, Frank Zane, and many, many other well-known bodybuilders. Back in the day, NABBA was the rival organization to the IFBB, and I've got a bunch of videos about the NABBA Mr. Universe on this channel. But now, the NABBA Mr. Universe and the Mr. Olympia aren't even really comparable levels of competition anymore. And the NABBA Mr. Universe competition really doesn't get almost any exposure. In fact, I don't think I saw any of the other bodybuilding channels even cover this. So the 2018 NABBA Mr. Universe was just a couple of weeks ago in mid-November. And the winner of the 2018 NABBA Mr. Universe was a bodybuilder by the name of Lee Sung Chol. So this is a bodybuilder from Korea. And honestly, I think he looked phenomenal at this 2018 NABBA Mr. Universe. Now, the thing about the universe is the lineups at these shows tend to be a lot less deep and a lot less competitive than, say, a pro lineup at the Olympia or even a lineup at, a show like the Arnold Classic. So I think, this guy looked better than a lot of the guys in the top six by a long shot. His conditioning was very good. He was much more balanced. He was much more proportional. And based on the photos and videos that I've seen, he was pretty much the clear-cut winner of this competition. Now, the thing about the NABBA Mr. Universe that I find to be pretty interesting is typically every year, the top six or the top bodybuilders of this show often represent a pretty wide spectrum of different countries. In this top six, you had guys from Korea, Great Britain, Brazil, and Ireland. So 4 of the top 6 were from different countries. Then outside of the top 6, I was seeing names from Mexico, Africa, et cetera, et cetera. So the rest of the top 6, in second, you had a bodybuilder named Josh Malley. In third, you had Charles Mario. In fourth, you had Laughlin Gannon. In fifth, you had Dean White. And in sixth, you had Elvis Brown. So I just wanted to make sure I got those results out to you guys because really, like I said, people just tend not to cover the Mr. Universe anymore because it's not the IFBB. They don't want to piss off the IFBB by covering a show from a rival organization. But I do think the Mr. Universe is a very historical competition and deserves to be covered, especially on a channel like this. So congratulations to Lee Sung Chol for winning the 2018 NABBA Mr. Universe. And I think he looked phenomenal based on the videos and photos that I've seen. All right, so the next story, fair warning here, some of these photos are going to be kind of gross. So if you're squeamish, I recommend you look away or skip this story. But I want to include this story because I want to help this guy out. So the next story is about a guy named Dan, the bodybuilder in Thailand. He's a fellow YouTuber, a fellow bodybuilder. And currently, apparently he's in Colombia. He's in the hospital alone. He's broke, and he does not have health insurance. So apparently he was injecting gear into his leg, and it got very badly infected. So he currently has life-threatening necrosis in his leg. Again, he does not have health insurance. He had one surgery while in Colombia to remove the necrotic flesh that was spreading, but the surgery failed. And then that also is the reason he has no more money because he paid for that surgery, which he says, the first surgery cost roughly $10,000. And he said he needs to have at least 2 more surgeries, but he does not have the financial means to do so. Again, he does not have health insurance. So basically, based on what I've seen so far, he's essentially in critical condition. And if he doesn't have these surgeries, essentially he'll probably die. So a lot of people were sending this to me and tagging me in this story to try to help him get some exposure because he set up a GoFundMe to try to pay for the surgeries he needs to fix this problem. So I'm going to link that GoFundMe in the description of this video. If you want to donate anything, just even $1, I'd just like to help this guy raise a little bit of money towards the rest of the surgeries that he needs. A fellow bodybuilder and a fellow YouTuber that needs help, regardless of how it happened. I mean, injecting the infected gear or whatever the case was, very rough situation for him to be in. And I hate to see anybody faced with essentially dying because they cannot afford the medical care they need to fix this problem. So Dan, if you're watching this, I hope you're able to recover from this condition. And hopefully this video contributes something to helping you survive this unfortunate situation. So I hope you get well soon, man. All right, so hopefully this next story can lighten the mood a little bit. So Blessing Awodibu, who is an IFBB pro bodybuilder, he's also sponsored by Redcon One. Recently, he did a collaboration with my favorite social media star, Daddy Longneck. or as I like to call him, the future Mr. Olympia. So in their collab, apparently he teaches Daddy Longneck how to pose, and apparently Daddy Longneck is 2 weeks out from his next bodybuilding show. So props and support to Daddy Longneck, and I wish him the best of luck at his next show. Now, coincidentally, Blessing Awodibu also just released his first ever music video, which I will play a clip from for you guys right now.
Oh, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Boogeyman, baby. I'm all the way up. Lee, I'm all the way up. I got my protein. I'm all the way up. That's what you want, Russians, what you need. Heard it must have me, get you really lean. Wait, baby. I can run again, we ain't ever living. Games all day, we ain't never slipping. Oh, you got Emory, like I got Emory. Guys so tough, all the games on me. You got Emory, like I got Emory.
So to be honest with you guys, when I saw this pop up in my timeline, I was expecting it to be terrible, but to be honest, I thought it was actually pretty entertaining. Now, obviously, it was a parody of the song All the Way Up, with whey spelled W-H-E-Y, like whey protein. So it wasn't really a serious music video or a serious song. So I think in that capacity of being maybe a parody type of artist, he could be successful. But as far as actually making like a Billboard hit, I think Chief just called, and this ain't it. Now, next up in classic physique news, Wesley Vissers, who just got done competing at the 2018 Mr. Olympia in the classic physique division, recently announced that his intentions for his next show are to do the 2019 Arnold Classic physique division. Now, obviously, he had kind of a disappointing placing at the 2018 Olympia, and I'm sure he's hoping to redeem himself when he comes into this 2019 Arnold Classic, and maybe he will have a much better chance to do so, because honestly, last year at the Arnold Classic, in their new classic physique category, I didn't think the lineup was that deep. I think Breon Ansley won that Arnold Classic last year very, very easily. And I think we could have some potential for a guy like Wesley Vissers to come into the Arnold Classic in 2019, where the lineup isn't as deep as the Olympia. And he might have the opportunity to move up significantly from his placing at the Olympia, which I believe was like 16th. Which is exciting for me because I go to the Arnold Classic every single year. I go to all the shows, the expo, the whole 9 yards. So I'm actually going to be there to be able to film him when he makes his Arnold Classic debut. So there will definitely be a video of his posing routine and the results of the 2019 Arnold Classic physique division posted on this channel in March of 2019. So stay tuned for that. Now, next up, if you guys are looking for the perfect gift for that bodybuilding enthusiast or bodybuilding fan in your life, recently on eBay, replica Sandow trophies have been popping up here. So we've seen in the past that people were selling trophies that they were claiming to be actual trophies received by Mr. Olympia winners, and they were selling them for like $10,000 plus. But in reality, they were probably just fake trophies. But this particular seller is selling multiple custom-made Sandow replicas, and he specifically says in the description they are not trophies that were actually won by a Mr. Olympia winner. They're just replicas, and they're not $10,000. They're about $650. And I actually looked into it a little bit more closely to make sure it wasn't a scam. And this particular seller has 100% positive feedback. I looked through all the photos. Everything looks legitimate. This guy specifies several times in the description that these are not actual Olympia Sandows. He talks about how he made them, what they're made of. They're made of fiberglass. And he goes on to say if you're not happy with the statue, he'll give you a full refund. And he said he's actually not making money on these. He just made them for fun and tried to sell them. So I think he said he has 12 left to sell. So if you want one, I'd get one pretty quickly. I don't know if I'm going to get one or not. I think it'd be kind of cool just as a decoration to have in my office just because it's such a massive piece of bodybuilding history in general. But I just thought since a lot of you guys are bodybuilding history fans and you guys might be into this kind of thing and you might want to know that there is this replica for sale if you want, a nice centerpiece or coffee table piece or topic of conversation. I think this would be kind of cool if you're a hardcore bodybuilding fan to give or receive something like this for the holidays. Now, finally, I wanted to talk about this poll that I put up on my community tab of my YouTube channel. So these polls I found to be a very valuable tool and a very accurate representation, of the general audience that watches my channel. So the question that I asked in this particular poll was just out of sheer interest. I'm curious what percentage of my subscribers are natural versus enhanced. Which are you? So 92% said that they were natural. So overwhelming majority said that they were natural, and 8% said that they were enhanced. Now, in less than 1 day, this poll got over 20,000 votes. So I've said many times in my videos that I believe the majority of the audience that is a fan of professional bodybuilding, that is interested or entertained or watches professional bodybuilding, the vast majority of those people, I believe, are natural bodybuilders. They don't necessarily have any interest in being a pro bodybuilder themselves or pursuing that route or pursuing a physique like that. They're simply interested and entertained by watching professional bodybuilding. So I think 20,000 votes, getting a 92% natural vote, is a pretty fair representation of these 600,000 plus followers that I have. And I don't have anything against the guys that use gear or the guys that are enhanced. Absolutely not. The point that I'm trying to make here, I appreciate both the natural and the enhanced guys that follow my channel. But the point that I was getting at here is when people say, why am I so interested personally in professional bodybuilding if I'm a natural bodybuilder? And I typically say, well, the majority of people that I meet or that I talk to that watch my channel are also natural. We're just interested in watching bodybuilders do things that we cannot do or that we wouldn't be willing to do. It's interesting. It's entertaining. It's just like watching any other sport. So I think this poll really kind of proved that point. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. Thank you guys for watching. Nick Strength and Power signing out.